Whinging Witches. You are watching Paula Lester from Paula Lester Tarot and Astrology and the Cyber Witch Circus, Sean Beckett from Lyra Starseed, and Jenny Penwallin from Oh My Goth.
We're all in better than
And here we are today to whinge.
Should we have a whinge?
Yeah, what should we whinge about? We're whinging.
I actually match your cushions.
Do you?
We're actually all in more than better than we normally are because I'm sitting on the side here. So today we're talking about how to protect yourself from negative energy and entities and people and everything.
So what do you think an entity is then, Sean?
Spirits or aliens, whatever. Whatever's trying to get you. Government. Everything. I mean, not being funny, according to Einstein, he was saying that the universe and things get brought back to you. So if you're putting out light, have you never seen the film Constantine with Keanu Reeves?
No.
Where there's angels and devils?
No.
Do you believe in light and dark on the planet Earth?
I don't know.
It's going down.
Don't know what I believe in.
What do you believe in?
I don't know what I believe in.
Well,
Go on.
So how would you... There's no difference between... Well, there is a kind of difference between protecting against a negative spirit, because most people won't know how to do that. How would you protect yourself against a negative person?
Some people are just happier and more positive than others.
Yeah, and how do you... This is what we need to know. How do you protect yourself from a negative person?
Well, don't talk to them.
Well,
What if you have to? What if you have to go and work with them?
You have to grit your teeth. You have to grit your teeth. You have to grow a pair, right? Right? You have to grow a pair, and you have to not let that person disturb your personal space.
So what about if you're literally working next to them at work then? What would you do if you're in an office, for example, and they work in there and there's nothing you can do?
Smile sweetly, get the job done, take your pay and go home.
So you wouldn't use any witchy stuff with a person?
Well, what can you use? You know, witchy stuff isn't just plucked out of nowhere. Witchy stuff is stuff you do all the time.
Well, I've used the old wearing a black crystal.
Marvellous.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not supposed to work, right? Or nobody can prove it works. I wear a necklace that's got black on it.
It's the power of the mind, Sean. You
I
feel.
can't read the comments.
You feel.
Well, then get up.
Where's the iPad?
Get up, go up.
Put the iPad on.
And you can see the comments, can you?
Hi, Grimley. Hello, ladies. How are you? There we go.
Perfect.
Hi.
If you could remember your password, you could use the iPad to look at the thing.
Oh yeah, that's so clever.
Can you remember your password?
No.
What, for Facebook or?
Right. Where's the iPad?
Behind me.
Right. Let me just see if I can go onto YouTube and then turn. If I turn the sound down.
Oh, you can see the comments coming up.
The comments.
Yeah. Just
anyway,
carry on.
Right, carry on.
I've actually tried having today. I've got my little. You bought me this, Angel, by the way, and that's got what colour is that? Dalmatian jasper.
Snowflake obsidian.
Snowflake obsidian. So obsidian.
Oh, that's nice.
So obsidian is a kind of a protector, but I've put a piece of black onyx on once, and I went to some people that I don't like, and they couldn't even look me in the eye.
Yeah, but freezing them, like what you said in.
Well, you can freeze them.
Put them in the freezer.
Yeah, I'm very fond of freezing people.
So you basically put their name on a bit of paper, fold it in half, and put them in the freezer. And what that does is it freezes you from.
Do you have to put water in the jar?
Nothing really. Just put
I've been
pieces of
water
paper
in the jar.
Have you?
Yeah.
And doing what with a bit of paper?
Yeah.
With their name on it, and putting it in the freezer.
Yeah.
So the jar goes in the freezer with the water and the name.
Yeah.
Right, now I've just got to work out how to turn the sound off.
It's probably at the side.
And has it worked?
So far, yeah.
So all it does is stop people from behaving badly towards you. It doesn't actually hurt anybody by putting them in the freezer. It just freezes them.
Do they feel cold?
Maybe. I mean, it has been cold anyway up until now, but there we go.
I can't find the sound.
Do you need the sound?
No, we need the sound off.
It's at the side of the iPad, isn't it? Like the same as a phone. Take the phone out of the thingy.
I've got it upside down.
As usual, we're having technical problems. Oh, there we go. She's got it upside down. There you go, Jem.
Is the comments on there?
They should be, shouldn't
They were, and I now lost the comments. There you go, live chat.
Yeah, give it here.
they? There we go. We're
Oh,
all
what is it?
sorted. So what would you do? So you've never had a problem with a negative like feeling when somebody's left the Tower Heart or anything like that, Paula?
Yo, hi Tilly. Hello Rachel, how lovely. Lovely to see Rachel. Tilly's at home with a little baby. Sorry, that's so lovely because that banishes negativity when you see something happy.
So happiness banishes.
Staying in a happy state of mind. If you can keep yourself in a happy space, you can go to work, deal with that person, and just think, are they like that? Why are they like that? They must be really miserable. Their lives must be shit. You know, you don't have to sink to their level. You just have to like raise yourself so that you're not part of that low negative energy. You don't need crystals.
No.
You don't need incense. All of those just help to like focus.
Help to think that
but it's all magic is in the mind.
Yeah.
This is
it's
about
whether you let it affect you.
This is about personal control, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someone's winding you up. Do not add fuel to the fire. Just wait till you get home, stick it in the freezer.
What about if it's family though? It does make a difference.
Oh, well, you know, that's our soul contract. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've basically got a soul contract. So you've come in, you've chosen your parents according to.
Well, they've chosen you to be their child.
They've chosen you to be their child.
However, you've ended up there. You've ended up in a relationship with your family, and not all of us are lucky enough. You know, some of us are really blessed with our families. You know, but other people have a real struggle, child.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. You know, but then your journey is how you respond to that as a grown-up person.
Yeah.
You can either make yourself bitter and twisted and be the person in the next desk at work, or you can rise above it, breathe the air, live the life.
Yeah, but I now ask my angels and guides to get rid of them if I don't like them, and it does work. Yeah, right. It's worked a lot of times. I just write a little diary and I say, thanks for everything. You have to be grateful about something, and can you please help me with so and so? I don't.
So you actually write it down.
Yeah.
Right. In a book, what you keep.
Well, a bit what I keep, like a diary, but I'm not actually writing a diary for just to myself. I'm literally saying to my angels and guides. Yeah. You have to say something grateful, so you say like, "Oh, thank you, I had a lovely walk today."
A gratitude journal.
Gratitude diary, and then after I've written a little bit, even if it's the most negative day, I'll put like, "Oh, I had a nice coffee at Costa. Thank you. Please, can you get rid of blah blah blah?" And then I start ranting. And then I, and it always works. It more or less, it takes a little bit of time. Takes a little bit of time.
Tilly's just asked me about shadow boxes. Do they work?
Oh,
yes,
right.
they do.
What's a shadow box?
Yeah, for the same reason. It's where you have a box and you put all the things that you're working with in a box.
Right.
What, you mean like you put it out the way as if it's gone?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, more or less. It's in the box, you have to deal with it.
So how can you put someone you work with you don't like in a box?
We don't actually put them in a box, Jenny. You'd probably get arrested for that if they're not into that kind of thing, really. Right. Putting people in boxes against their will, that's a bit like kidnapping, really, and I wouldn't go around.
Come on.
No. It's metaphorically speaking. A gentleman I know told me that like men have all these boxes in their heads and they have an empty box where they can just sit and go, where they don't actually think about anything. But you could quite easily have a box in your head where you file all those people that you don't actually like need or want or need any interaction with. Because the more you're thinking about them, the more space you're giving them in your head. And they're not paying rent, are they?
No.
No, so you don't need them in there. So stick them in a box. Or the freezer.
Or the freezer. The freezer's a better one.
Yeah.
I have done a spell against a really negative situation. I can't go into too much detail, but I did a spell and I did a chant to get rid of somebody that wasn't very nice at work, in a workplace, and they went off with an illness. But they decided to retire early.
Are we all well?
Yeah, we're all
well.
We're all
great, thank you, darling. Thank you so
much
much
for
asking.
now the sun's out.
Yeah, my friend did a little bit of chaos magic last year. She thought she'd caused an earthquake in Portugal. So
what on earth does that mean?
Well, she did a bit of magic, but dark chaos magic, and then there was an earthquake in Portugal, and she thought she'd done it. But anyway, you know who you are.
What was she trying to do?
Well, obviously someone had wound her up a bit. She didn't want to cause an earthquake. She just wanted to move things along. So
There was the person she was trying to cause it for in Portugal.
no.
No, well, she definitely hadn't called the
I want to
earthquake.
stop this because I don't want to get this person into any trouble.
No, well, this is the thing. That's why I don't want to say too much about the situation at work. But having said that, it isn't my fault that I've done a spell. I think I do a spell to free somebody from doing harm to other people. And if that means that they end up going off and deciding to retire early because they've got some sort of illness, then that is not my problem. I haven't done a spell to make somebody ill or hurt anybody. I've done a spell to just say I ban them from being negative in this workplace.
Yeah.
And I used garlic, I used salt, I used a spell, and it worked. But like you said, it's the power of my mind as opposed to the spell.
Absolutely, it is.
But it definitely worked. And I thought I tried to do all of the normal way at work. I tried to go through managers, this, that, and the other, and it didn't work. So I resorted to spiritual practice because the going through the 3D aspect and talking to managers was not working.
See, we're really lucky that when we go to work in the hut, that hut is so well warded anyway. So generally we do not get much negativity through there. We get a lot of people walk past and say quite negative things, but we're sort of immune to it now.
Oh yeah, I'm totally immune.
And that's the same
There's
with
gonna be
negative
this-
energy. You can become more resilient. You can burst into tears at the thought of leaving the house every day because the world's such a horrible place, or you can take a deep breath
and get out there
and slowly, bit by bit, use your own positive energy to force back any negative energy. But then you can also buy crystals, incense.
Yeah, but I do
Like,
feel
follow,
like
share and
incense helps.
subscribe. We've got a shop opening in less than a month again, so yeah, come and see what we've got to help you focus your negative energy.
I mean, if you've had a really tough day, I sometimes come home and I don't burn sage around the house if I feel there's a negative presence, but because you told me that I can't because it's misappropriation.
Well, you can. But if I'm
You
known
can.
about something, that doesn't mean to say you can't go and do it. It just means it's part of my practice to not do that.
But you can still burn rosemary with.
You can burn what you like.
It does smell very similar.
People smell a bit. Don't burn people.
They used to.
But the hair smells.
So Balthazar is on.
Hi,
Is he wearing
Balthazar.
his crown?
Yeah, come on,
If
let's see a
someone offers
picture of
you a
this.
present and you refuse it, to whom does the present belong to? It's the same for insults.
Yeah.
It says here's Sani.
Why are you right up against yours so no one can see anything?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Because I'm just reading what they've put.
Um,
Because they're actually asking us questions about negative. Someone's saying chanting is
You
another
see
way.
right down your
Yeah.
top when you did that.
Who, me?
yeah.
Could you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
seen it.
Get some value out
Oh,
of it.
I can't get back up. I can't get back up. I'm getting
Chanting's
old.
good because chanting
Chanting is
it's
singing.
familiar. Yeah, it's familiar. And it also like the sound of
I burn cannabis to warn off spirits.
That's a good
nice
one.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And I found when I burnt sage around the house, when I had a negative presence in my
Can you
house.
put a
Yeah.
spell on this crack government to make it disappear?
We're working on that all the time.
Can you curse me?
Why?
Can I come over for tea and biscuits?
Yeah, of course,
Billy
yeah, no
Kidman's
problem.
asking if you can come round for tea and biscuits.
Not a problem.
Oh yeah, we'd love to bring. You can bring the biscuits though, because
Yeah.
biscuits are a bit of a minefield, really. Because like everyone likes a biscuit, but they all like different biscuits.
So what do you like
What
then?
biscuit do you
Oh.
like?
Custard cream.
No, I'm more of. If I have to have a choice, I think it might be a bourbon.
Yeah, I like a bourbon. Yeah.
But then also like chocolate hobnob.
Oh no, I'm not kidding.
Oh, I do like
They
a
always make me
chocolate
cough.
Maybe just make me eat them.
Well, because they're a bit dusty.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are a bit dusty. I'm not keen on a hobnob.
But yeah, yeah, and especially when we're open again after the 21st, let's bring us biscuits.
Yeah, bring biscuits.
Biscuits, cake.
Down to the hut.
Yes.
Biscuits and cake.
We need to keep going in that hut when we can't get out. Sometimes you've got so many customers that you can't get out the hut and you're starving. aren't
Tilly, we ought to catch up on a platform. We'll talk about these shadow boxes. I'd love to see what you've been doing, babe. Let's have a look at those.
Do you think children and animals automatically bring up the atmosphere?
Apparently, a cat purring, the frequency of the purr is supposed to be a healing frequency.
Yeah. Well, I always like it when they do that.
My cat doesn't purr very much, and when he does, you can't hear it.
And apparently, people with pets live longer.
Oh, really? I didn't know that one. I haven't got any pets that travel too much, and I live on a main
Yeah.
street. so-
Happy
Let's say hello to Leslie, who's a new mad cat lady. And Mitten went to live with Leslie in
Yeah,
Southampton.
we've got no Mitten today. We've
Yeah.
got Molly, but
It
she's
worked out better
disappeared.
because it wasn't working out well because I had to shut Mitten in the kitchen, which meant Molly couldn't get out, and because Mitten did like to get a little bit upset anywhere in the house that she could get upset. So it wasn't an ideal situation, but happily she has gone to live in the lovely Leslie's house.
I look like a midget sitting here.
Ah.
Little
We're actually
Jane.
all in for once because we're
You
doing
can
this
see us
funny sitting.
all.
And we'll probably be back in the hut in
Now
a
we're
couple
going
of
to
weeks.
your house next week.
Oh, we're going to my house next week. What about when I had a funny negative thing? I felt a bit funny in the hut, and you said to me, spread a bit of somebody's ashes around the hut
Yeah.
to ward off negative.
It's all right if you've got
Oh, yeah.
someone's ashes.
See,
I know. Well, we've run out of her ashes.
See,
now, so I don't know
you've
what we're
got your
gonna do.
day-to-day energy, and then when you sit yourself in a place where we do, that takes a lot of spiritual flack, if you like. Sometimes you have to up the game a little bit. For example, right, if you live in a house and it hasn't got a gate, and everyone's dog keeps coming in and weeing in your garden, you'll get fed up with that. So you put a gate on,
Yeah.
and it's the same with your spiritual practices. Right, you've got your stuff that you do yourself, but like your house, I've got rosemary outside the front and various other herbs and things in the front garden to ward off negativity. And it's good because I don't get very many negative visitors. They're all very positive and happy when they come here, usually. Glad to be here.
Well, I've got rosemary and warding off negative. It says,
There you go.
but I didn't know that. I just put some rosemary in the garden.
No.
I didn't do it like knowingly. What other ones would you put? Lavender?
Yeah, lavender's always
You
good.
ain't got a front garden.
I've got a back garden.
Yeah.
Well, I can't ward off the front garden. I can just lock the door.
Anything that you
I
like.
suppose you could put it
yeah,
by the
yeah.
front door. Inside.
What do I always
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
Google it, educate yourself, find out all the reasons why, because when you find out the reasons why, you may find that you need to use that particular thing for something else that you didn't know you could use it for, like your rosemary bush.
Well, another thing is when you do a bit of research about it, when you put certain herbs in your garden for protection, they can also ward off like flies and different like
mint.
Wasps, and they don't like the
Yeah.
smell of it, and like all of the sort of I wouldn't say any animal is a pest because they're always food for some other animal, but there are flies I don't particularly want. So if you've got rosemary, mint, lavender, whatever, the smell of that should repel anything that you don't want.
Mint definitely repels. Definitely.
And that's another thing, in your home, do you sort of put a barrier around it, would you say, psychically, or?
I've always had like a little protection bubble around me since I started practicing. I'm just one of the first people that I met said to, you put the bubble around yourself and then you gradually expand it to where you are.
So cars and
So the car then becomes part of the bubble.
Would you say the whole
The
of
house
Yarmouth?
is part of the bubble. I don't know if I'm going to go that far.
Oh, come on.
But just saying, I don't know. It's not my job to keep everyone else safe. They have to keep themselves safe. But
Yeah.
I do my best to keep my house safe, and myself safe, and my shop safe.
There's a huge question on yours now.
Is there?
A massive question.
On
Can
my
you hear
one,
it?
there is.
Can you see it? Or is it in your one?
Yeah.
Read it first quietly, and then tell us the highlights. But certainly, start off small. Start off by waking up, thinking today is the day. I'm not going to accept any negativity. Go out there and smash it.
I also feel like sometimes if I'm feeling a bit down, if you start to sing, my whole head activates like I've lifted the spirits.
This one.
See, some
That's
people would
annoying.
hate that.
Why?
Because some people don't like the singing and the chanting. Some people don't like music at all. They have their own ways of dealing with things. Everyone has their own way of dealing with negativity. Even if it's becoming so... Some people really like to feed into the negativity.
Some people love being negative.
Yeah.
They're happy being miserable.
Some people like a bit of drama, a little bit of chaos. They like to cause people trouble because then they're not dealing with their own issues. We all have to deal with our own shadows.
Well, are
sooner
you
or
ready for
later.
this one?
Yeah, go on.
It doesn't work for me, ladies. The last 12 years, I've had a burning sensation followed by 3 scratches on that almost always draws blood. That almost always draws blood. Happens the most random times when I feel awful for weeks. My mum bought sage and then she got a burning sensation through the tattoo of my name.
Well, that's quite a serious one. But I mean, if that is the case, that is definitely.
Who is this?
Who is that?
Well, there's someone called David Brent. It's obviously not David Brent.
No.
Well, I think I have had a lot of people. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've had a lot of people come to me with really serious spiritual attacks, psychic attacks. And what you've got to do is don't feed it, don't fear it. You've just got to literally. I mean, there is a meditation I do on YouTube which you can check out, which is a lady. If you put in there, remove negative entity or remove negative spirit. This lady does a half-an-hour meditation, a talking meditation, where she asks the archangels and a team of angels to come and remove the negative energy. So what I would say is, if you've got something as serious that is actually painful, you've got to be serious about telling it to leave, because actually spirit do not, because the difference between a person and a spirit is nothing. If you had a person threatening you or punching you, you would tell them to leave or call the police, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But you can't tell the police to come and remove a negative entity, because they'll think you're bonkers and probably put you in a mental home. So if you have got something happening spiritually, then you need to ask God and the angels to arrest the spirit, because it's the same as asking the police, but in a spiritual form. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
You can ask your passed on loved ones, but sometimes an archangel, I mean, if you believe in angels, most people do anyway, but if you don't believe in angels, even just ask God, the universe, this negative entity needs to go to the light, needs to be removed. And like I said, you can listen to that woman on YouTube. Just not Google it, but go on YouTube and put removal of negative energy meditation. And this woman gets you to repeat the words that she's saying. So it's similar to, if you've got a negative energy in your home that's that bad, it's like paranormal activity, so you've got things being thrown around, you can't cope with it anymore, you get a priest in, don't you?
Well, I was then going to say that churches and places where a lot of spiritual activity go on are quite well warded.
Yeah.
And if you have got an attachment or a problem, you either won't be able to go into the church.
No.
Right, you'll have got your mindset will be, I can't go into a church. Go into a church. Yeah, because if you do have an attachment, right, then
the priests are
now
actually...
the thing about one of the things that we built into the hut when we built it, when we put it together in the early years, and I've so much love for Vicky for helping me with this, Vicky Forstall, bless her, the number witch. When we set this up, we set it up so that if anyone came into the hut bringing any curses or that kind of heavy negative energy, it would rebound back.
Right.
You know, so come to the hut, we'll get rid of it for you.
But there's a lot of things as well, like, you know, if you don't believe in Christianity, but a lot of the priests will come round and try and clear a home, won't they?
A blessing, a house blessing.
And what they will do, the priest has got a set verses that he says, and it's almost the same as this meditation I'm talking about. It's basically, he comes in and he repeats a prayer over and over again. Now, funnily enough, if it's a negative entity, they cannot cope with the words that the priest has been taught to say. That's been taught over generations of thousands and thousands of years. The priests have got the same thing that they have to say. If there's a certain, you know, like in The Exorcist, if there's a person that's been...
But again, if you practice your own spiritual hygiene, you won't need to be getting priests of any denomination in.
No, but I'm just saying that some people that don't know, I mean, sometimes I believe that some people, I mean, I've had clients that have come to me for a reading and they've had an attachment since a child. So what then it becomes is, they're now an adult, this attachment has been in their brain, giving them negative comments and whatever. It's not them. Some of them have told me that they thought they were psychotic. But if it's a negative energy that feeds off negative energy, some people have said they've had a dream and it's like an astral projection dream, and they've been grabbed by something in the dream, and that thing then can come back with you. I've been told that in a dream, if anything grabs your arm, you shake them off. But if you're just a 5-year-old that has a dream and a negative energy and you've by accident astral projected, which is like going into another plane of existence.
There's a lot of stuff there to unpack, Sean.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. Some people I've spoken to, they've had that happen to them. And then
see, again, this is one of the issues I have with modern spirituality, really, is the fact that, you know, you'd find out in the old days, you'd find out what you needed to find out as you needed to find it out.
Yeah.
And other people around you go, oh, I know what happens there. And then they'll talk you through and you'll experience it. But now it's like all these diagnoses for ADHD and BPD and narcissistic personality disorder and all these other things. You don't even need to be a qualified person anymore. You can just go online, Google it, tells you the symptoms. And next thing you know, oh, I've got that. There you go. And it's the same with all this stuff with attachments and entities and... Again, I just think it's so much over dramatising things, Sean. I really, really do. If people were more solid, you know.
Yeah, but the trouble is, a lot of the time, a negative entity or energy.
People don't want to take accountability for their own thoughts and actions.
No, but I'm not saying everybody that's nasty has got a negative energy. What I'm saying is the people that I've met haven't actually been negative people.
Some people are just stupid.
Yeah, some people are just people and they're all stupid. But if spirit talks to us in our own voice, in our own head, what is the likeliness of you having a bad spirit talking to you and you thinking it's your own voice?
Well, it depends how much weed you've smoked.
Well, exactly. But a lot of people that do drugs, and I'm talking about medicated drugs that from the hospital, people with mental health issues are very vulnerable to negative entities.
They are. They're very vulnerable anyway, and that is why they're in that position, because they've allowed themselves to fall into that gentle cradle of being negative and nothing is their fault because it's all attachment. Oh, I've got an entity that made me do it, or you know.
I understand that some people are just blaming.
There are some people. Yeah. I mean, please, I'm being very, very generalised, which is my thing. Please don't anyone be offended by what I've said or put a comment in. I'm the one on the side which circles put a comment there.
You've got to take each individual case.
You have got to.
And you've got to look at the person and you've got to say, is this person mentally stable or are they just making it up?
Your customer, David Brent, I would love to speak to them in person. If they'd like to come into my shop, I would love to talk to them.
Appreciate the tips. I also have BPD. Yeah. And my episodes are at their worst following being scratched.
Bless you.
What's a BPD?
Borderline personality disorder.
Balthazar is saying Chris Rock said it best. Whatever happened to crazy?
Yeah, if you're going to be crazy, if you're going to hear voices, if you're going to have things in your head that be like Sean only,
yeah, just go and get some tarot cards. The other thing is, I have actually had an entity trying to pretend it's somebody else talking to me, and that was really nasty. But what you'd find is, you can, if you think this voice is your voice, say you think you've got a mental disorder or something, okay? And you think this voice is telling you all this nasty stuff, swearing at you, telling you you're ugly, this, that, and the other. You tell it to leave. Get out of my body, leave. Because if it was you, then it will stay.
Which is exactly what we said right at the beginning. Yeah. You know, take accountability for where you are on the positive negativity scale, on the paradigm of all the things that you can do that are happy and all the things that you can do that are negative. Yeah. You know, always try your best, try and find a positive. And I mean, after a while, you don't even have to try. You just wake up and I changed my life 2.5 years ago when I moved to this house, right? And I refused to bring any of the negative stuff with me. Yeah. You know, I'd left it all behind. I had a new house, a new life, and by God, it worked.
But having said that, Paulie, you are a strong person.
No, I'm not a strong person at all. I'm really not a strong person.
No, but I'm just saying, not everyone has got to 62, having worked in a spiritual environment for like the last 25, 30 years, you know, having to deal with all the stuff they've done. You have to become resilient, because otherwise you get caught up in all kinds of weird cosmic shit that people want to bandwagon you with. Yeah. So you have to stay really, really strong. You have to see what's real and what's actual, like, so what was it? What happened to crazy? Yeah. You know, and it is, the more you look for
the other side, the more stuff you look for, the more you'll find it. The more negativity you know, oh, I've got to protect myself from negativity. Well, try and preserve positivity rather than.
It's just sometimes that they can get you through anxiety, or you know.
No,
they
you
can
get
try
yourself.
Yeah.
You get yourself. You know, let's just assume it's quantum physics. Yeah, and there's no other, there's just energy around us. Yeah. It's not entities, it's just energy. And because you're next to an energy that's slightly sort of more heavy than yours, got more going on in it, they're busy, they've got stuff going on. You know, when someone comes when you have a conversation with someone who leaves you drained and tired, yeah, that's not giving you an attachment, that's just you putting all your energy into trying to prop someone else up who's not being quite themselves. Or not being, you know, or being themselves, and like some people are just spiritual vampires. Yeah. So it's very much ground yourself. You don't need crystals. You just need to wake up, take a deep breath, be grateful for the fact that you're still alive. Yeah, and then off you go with a nice positive start to the day.
Right, 3 comments here. I heard a voice the other day screaming at me.
Did you?
And David Brent is saying, personally, I think it comes down to having a strong mind. I have a weak mind, which is why I'm so effed up.
Bless you.
And Up the Toffees is saying, is that how old you are? 62.
Yeah. Well, I will be in September if I'm blessed enough to wake up enough times to get to September. And we've got the whole summer season ahead first. So it's looking like it's the run thing.
And you've just got
Sean's only about 12, aren't you?
I'm 42.
Yeah.
42. Well, how old are you?
Yeah, see the glamour spell we did last week, you see.
Well, I mean, I've tried using if they're having a. I mean, I think when you're saying things like that, David, to yourself about like being. I'm a weak mind. Just stop saying
realistic.
that. Stop saying that.
David, you've been really quite realistic. You're setting yourself, you know where you are, you know your benchmark, you know, limit yourself if you like. You know, you can put limitations on, you know, okay, this is how I am, this is how I'll always be. But sometimes
you've got to start talking to yourself in a positive way and saying, do you know what?
I
do
hope you come and meet us in the shop. We'd like to meet you. I quite like to meet people who've got these things, and we can see if the curses, if the rebound wards are still there.
I mean, I had a chap in lockdown that contacted me on my Instagram because he was Indian, and he said to me he's just changed his job from being like an accountant to a healer, and he was now starting to have people to his to his office.
Should have stuck at being an accountant.
Anyway, he did that. And from the point that he decided to change from this ordinary job to the spiritual work he was doing, he had sleep paralysis and could not sleep. Couldn't sleep.
That's just a manifestation of anxiety.
Well, I said to him, put some amethyst.
It is a manifestation of anxiety.
Anyway, I said that it's just coincidental then, but I don't believe in coincidences. I said to him, put some amethyst by your bed, put some salt on your bed, and tell it to F off, is what I said. Okay?
Yep.
And the next morning he contacted me and he said, say thank you for what you said to me last night. I did what you said and I've been able to sleep.
Brilliant.
So all it was him saying, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, exactly that. You gave him some little tools that they could anchor onto. Oh, the witch said, if I use amethyst and this, that,
but he didn't even use the amethyst. He said, all he said was, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to sleep.
Yeah.
And you have to do that. You have to be so strong. But I have tried playing the angel frequency, which is 888 hertz. That can normally help.
Right. So
you can get like some music.
Now.
Oh, good. Let's have your comments then.
Any quick spells you can do in the morning for a positive day? And then Jenny's saying hello. Hello, Jenny.
Hi,
Jenny.
And David Brent is saying, I forgot to mention when I go for walks, dogs go absolutely berserk at me, even when I'm in a good manic episode.
Oh, bless you,
On top of the world, dogs go nuts. Even when I'm on a good manic episode and on top of the world, dogs go nuts.
Right, if you're going,
I always make babies cry when they see me. So
again, if you've got that thought in your head, you're going to see a dog and you're going to start to pick.
Freak out.
Your levels of hormones in your body will raise, they'll change, and the dog will pick up on it from 100 yards. You know, they've got such a strong sense of smell and intuition, dogs have. So
You've got to go out and sort of say, I mean, that, you know, you've got to go out and sort of say to yourself, this dog's going to come up to me and fuss me today and see what happens. There's some massive
have we got
comments
any
up there.
spells, positive spells to start the day? As someone else is asking.
Positive spells to start the day? I just think putting up, well, if you don't like
positive
music,
start
don't
to
like
start the day. What do you like for breakfast? You know, breakfast is a lovely spell. If you
Well, you
go
can
to
put
bed,
cinnamon
if
in.
you go to bed, right, knowing full well that for breakfast the next day you've got something lined up, and you maybe if you've like set your breakfast table first, or just something that as soon as you wake up will make you smile.
Yeah.
I don't eat breakfast though.
Well, just find something that will make you. You've got Derek. You can just look across and smile at Derek, and that will be your happy place for the day.
Well, you can actually charge up your water with crystals if you want to.
You can do all of that, but you know, let's assume you're going commando. You've got nothing to work with here, right?
Okay.
So all you've got is the power of your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go to bed thinking, can't wait for tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, tomorrow's going to be great, and you give yourself something to look forward to when you get up.
I also think going outside and just, you know, with no shoes on is.
Well, you haven't even got up at that. You've got to get up first.
Oh, you've got to get up. Okay.
Yeah. And if you want to make a little poem,
yeah,
if you want to make a little prayer or a little poem, or create some words that you repeat to yourself before you go to sleep or when you wake up, creating a ritual, you know, helps to focus the mind on positive action.
Or looking in the mirror and telling yourself something nice about yourself.
But there's loads of you know, there's loads of like hippie chants. So Om Mani Padme Hum is one. Om, you know, Om and invoking there's loads, mate. Honestly, there are loads and loads of ways. Anyone who, you know, come and see me in the hut. We can talk about all these kinds of things when we've got nothing else to
check
do.
the comments on the other ones up there?
Yeah.
Because I can't
No,
see.
she can't. She
Why?
can't see mine.
Huh?
I can't see mine now.
Yeah, but you've got a huge one up there.
Yeah, I've got loads up there. I can't even see it
You
now.
can't see it. Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Anyway, hello everyone on the side of which
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we are. It's really lovely to see you. Well, I could have walked across and seen those.
Well, I'm doing it now.
She's doing it.
Yeah, but I'd come up under.
Chanting is one way. We don't need external things. That's Sunny Eugenie. So we ward them off. How can we heal nerve pain, physical that's been prolonged?
Oh my God, I'm
that's
dealing
a
with
good
this.
one. Yeah.
I'm so dealing with this. Okay, you got two choices.
Claire Daniels watching.
Hi, Claire.
That's it. That's about it.
Yeah.
I'll go on with the nerve
neuropathic pain. Oh my God. There's a lovely lady that we work with called Jessica Squires, Roots to Heal. Right, she does the most amazing potion for neuropathic pain. I believe it's got snowdrop in. I suffer from fibromyalgia. Well, I don't suffer from it. I enjoy it every moment. Yeah, but yeah, neuropathic pain is really annoying. You've got to find the root of the pain because it isn't always like, for example, sciatica is usually a trapped nerve in the back that then affects all the way down your leg, all the way up your arm, everything really. Again, it's deal with the physical sides of things. And herbs and crystals are great to a certain point, but modern medicine is a double-edged sword. Modern medicine is like an improvement. It like condenses, like for example, an aspirin. If you wanted an aspirin or the equivalent of, you have to probably boil half a bloody willow tree in order, in order to actually get the same amount. So it being condensed and purified, so that, but you also remember the big pharmaceutical companies want you to keep buying their products.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a double-edged sword with any of this stuff. But go and find yourself a good for the neuropathic pain. I would go and see a good sports therapist or someone who knows about muscles, who can give you a proper diagnosis if you haven't had an MRI. MRIs are great. They show everything.
Yeah, they do.
You know, we
but
can't.
I mean, you can. There are certain, if you've got a lot of inflammation or anything, there are certain foods you can eat to try and improve it. It's not going to completely improve it.
Unless it's an entity or an attachment.
Well, you can have something like, for example, if you're having soup or whatever, you can add turmeric to it. It doesn't taste of anything. The Indians cook with turmeric all the time. But all I'm saying is we
They
don't
could be
tend to...
turmeric all the time, but then they have completely different lifestyles to us. They don't necessarily sit in the furniture. We sit in all day. You know, they'll be up
No.
and down off the floor, so they'll their muscles are different to ours. You know, their collagen probably doesn't.
And they've got sunshine,
Yeah.
which is a big thing. But I
Yeah.
mean, if you think about it, if you've started to add things like cook from scratch, a lot of us will be like, "I'll put a bay leaf in, put some rosemary in." Rosemary is apparently a natural antiseptic. They reckon if you put that in the bath, it makes you feel better.
Mm.
So you've got to try little things. It's not gonna be a painkiller,
No.
but it's gonna be. But there must be a reason, because I always think when you put a bay leaf, I don't think it changes the flavour of anything.
No, not just.
But there's a real.
Especially if it's an old one you've had sat around for ages.
But what I'm saying is, what is the reason then? Was it originally because it was to ward off bad spirits? Did they put a bay leaf in? Because it doesn't taste of anything.
No. There's lots of reasons why various herbs and things have gained their place, if you like.
Yeah.
You know, and it's to do with
a herb.
Yeah, that's sage. That's
This
white
is a sage that you burn if you feel negative. But the thing is,
It
I feel
just
like-
smells like old straw. That's the problem with sage.
yeah, but the thing is, if you are going to
And
do
it
a
sets
spell,
off the fire alarms.
but say for example, you're making a seed from scratch. Yeah. I did set my fire alarm off with sage actually. If you are making soup from scratch and you're putting various herbs in the soup, that you can make it a spell. As you're stirring
What
it,
is
you
a
can
spell?
say,
Yeah,
you know.
and there's a book about that because I bought a soup maker last week.
Did you? Yeah, well done,
And I was looking
Jenny.
at
20
soup
minutes.
books.
Love
And
a
there's
soup
witch's
maker.
soup book.
Yeah.
But I haven't got it. But yeah.
it doesn't ask you to put frogs in it or anything.
Oh,
Frog
you've never
soup?
eaten frogs.
No.
Oh my god, they're lovely. They're like little tiny chicken bits.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I can remember cooking. This was years and years and years ago. We didn't know what
No.
we were doing. They just had them in the butchers, so we tried them and we coated them in flour and put them in the pan, but we hadn't like separated them.
Oh,
And they were
what?
as the muscles contracted, they
Oh, that's horrible. They started to jump, frog jump.
didn't jump, they moved.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, what about the rest of the frog's body? Did you just eat the leg?
No, just eat the legs.
Oh,
Look at this
I think
lovely
they're
crystal
special
here.
frogs.
Look at
That's
that.
oh, what's that? Pyrite?
Bismuth,
Bismuth.
Yeah.
It's quite toxic, actually.
probably.
Isn't
It's
it?
like steps up to the castle.
Pretty though. It's like a little pyramid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think every.
What does this do?
What does it do? What does
Oh God, I can't Google it now, but you've got the thing. You Google it, but lots of things. I can't remember. We got it out the other day.
it just looks like a pyramid. Yeah.
I can't. It's something to do with spiritual stuff.
You can make a spell in a drink. You could put some rosemary in your drink. You could put
And a
garlic in your
cocktail's a
drink.
spell, isn't it?
Huh?
Cocktails are spells. There's
Cocktails.
There's herbs in. There's herbs in all kinds of in like things. that
Eggnog.
make- Yeah,
Look at
juniper
this one.
in.
Oh, they always put nutmeg. Nutmeg's another one to
Look at
ward
that
off
one.
negativity.
That's
I
nice.
have no idea what that is.
I think that's just dyed.
A bit of cobalt on something else.
It's just
probably.
dyed. What do you
Yeah.
call it? It's just a normal geode, which would be white, but they've just put some dye on it, I think.
But yeah.
Sage. So you would burn this? What for?
Well, I wouldn't burn it. I've only got
Well,
it.
you've
for
got it
I've
just
only
as
got
a
it for
pretty
illustration.
decoration.
I've only got it to prove why it's just such a pointless waste of time.
Doesn't smell of anything really.
No.
When you burn it, it does smell really strongly.
Mm.
Worry dolls. You
My
can,
lovely
you can have a little
abalone
worry
shell as
doll,
well.
can't you? Little worry doll.
Have a lonely shell to actually do it in. Do you want to set it off?
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't that beautiful?
Show him. Where did you get that from?
Gift from someone who loves me.
Ah, did they find it? No way.
Do you know, my friends,
That's
my
huge.
Somewhere like Vietnam or
My
something.
Yeah,
suitors-
yeah, I was going to
my
say.
suitors do like to bring me nice things.
What, do you want to burn some sage?
No,
Oh,
no, but this is what traditionally you'd use an abalone shell
what
and
for?
white sage.
All right.
Getting not British.
So they must
An
be from the
abalone
same
shell?
places.
Yep.
What is an abalone?
One of them.
that,
A
like-
massive clam.
It's a bit like and the inside is a bit like mother of pearl, and I've got like a necklace somewhere.
So would a massive slug live in this then, or what?
Yeah.
A sea slug.
Yeah,
It's quite pretty though, isn't it?
That's half of one, isn't it?
yeah.
Would you eat it, the slug then? Or?
I think you probably would.
Yeah, because you can
Yeah.
eat conchs, can't you?
Yeah. But
Anyway, you'd burn so typically you'd burn the sage and then what? You just stub out in this? What, with a bit of sand in it or?
No, just that.
Just stub it.
Yeah.
It's pretty though.
It is very pretty. I mean, the ones that you buy in the shops are much smaller.
Or if you're British, you can wrap some dried mint around some rosemary and you can burn that, which we've all normally got in our gardens.
That's the one that came. That's the one that came with the set. There you go. It's a very small version.
Ah, that's cute.
Yeah, and there's a little wooden stand somewhere.
Oh, they're exactly the same. They've got all the
This is-
holes in them.
Yeah.
They're so cute. They're so pretty.
Anyway, we're digressing.
Sorry. Well, we're not really, because that's the way you
Well,
burn
look, there's
sage.
loads of stuff here.
Well, just because, you know, I don't do it doesn't mean I don't know how to.
What's
I
that?
haven't done it in the
It's like a
past.
cockroach, yeah.
Oh.
Like,
No, it's not.
Stop going through those now, Jane.
It's an amulet.
Yeah, please stop going
An
through those
amulet.
right now. I'll explain why afterwards, yeah.
Don't go through Paula's drawers. That's the
Do
negative.
not go
That
through
could
my
be
drawers.
negative.
It's all out on show here.
It's not all out on show. It's on a shelf underneath my altar,
What's
like
that?
then no one sees. Please stop, Jenny.
What about
Oh, look at his.
what about if you're gonna have like some, I don't know, like you've got that over there. What kind of fragrance can help you with negativity? Jasmine, what would it be? You know,
It's
like
not
those
called
sticks,
Jasmine,
you
it's
know.
Paula, not Jasmine.
You know, sticks. You know those sticks what you
You've
put
got
in
your name.
oil?
Sticks in oil.
Those ones over there, you got one over
Oh,
there.
yeah, you
Oh,
mean
well,
reed
reed
diffuser.
diffuser.
A diffuser.
Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of fragrances might dispel negativity in the house?
Whatever you like.
Anything.
Yeah,
Any single thing.
yeah.
Because cedarwood's supposed to get rid of.
The whole point about it is the smell pushing. You know, you can't have two things in the same place.
So would you say
So if you've got an entity there, and you've got a smell, the smell will go in on a molecule, and that will then have to push out the energy.
So would you say things like, for example, cleaning, bleaching, things like that are going to dispel them or
These
not?
are all things we're used to, right? We're used to the smell of pine for
Yeah.
doing cleaning, and
Yeah.
citrus.
Yeah.
And citrus is also quite uplifting. It's all oranges and yellows and like bright colours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so citrus stuff is all really, really useful. Lavender, because of its nice, gentle, soothing and healing properties. Lavender oil is really, I've been putting that on where I cut myself and I
Yeah.
burn, and it's virtually gone now.
So is that kind of an antiseptic then, would you say?
Yes, definitely.
What of lavender?
Lavender, tea tree, definitely. Rosemary, thyme, all of those. They're quite, thyme can be, and rosemary can be a little bit cloyy, I find, as an essential oil or as a herb, but you know. But
Nice smell though.
but for incenses, I mean, you've got all your frankincense. Frankincense is one for healing and medicine. Whatever you feel, whatever, because like some people really don't like. It's like some people,
Certain smells.
yeah,
Yeah.
some people really don't like the smell that's in their patchouli.
Right.
Like, some people really do not like patchouli, but that's a really good grounding one, really to help keep your feet on the ground, and very good for money. It's good for that, and basil oil. Basil. I think it's basil oil for dropping on coins to help increase.
So that goes to say, because I've heard as well that if you have sort of plants inside your house, that can clear the air and
Feng
clear
shui is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done a little bit of research about feng shui and how to decorate my home and what plants to use, and it says things like, another thing that you can look into, I mean, I've looked into it because I look into everything, is numerology and how to decorate your home according to numerology. And sometimes it says things like, in my house adds up to number 7, which is a spiritual house. It says have plants but don't have aloe vera or spiky plants. So I just don't have them. I just thought, well, I'll just follow what they say and see if it works. I mean, I'm not too keen on them anyway. And funny enough, they don't actually enjoy my house because of the way it is. It's a bit damp for them.
And also tidiness.
Tidiness.
You know, if you wake up and everything's cluttered, and you wake up and you're thinking, oh no, I've got to go in that room and it's got all that stuff in it. Either shut the door and don't go in the room,
Yeah.
or deal with it.
Yeah.
Because it's always going to be at the back of your mind. So sometimes you just have to bite the bullet, do the normal straight thing, do the tidying up, put the rubbish out, sweep the floors, and you'll feel so much better.
I mean, in feng shui, yeah, that's another thing. That can be part of the ritual, part of the spell the house, clear the house. I mean, if you're in Spain, for example, and you if you don't clean up the floor, you will get cockroaches. That is
So
it.
Lottie's saying goodbye. He's got to go.
Oh,
Bye. See you next
Nice
week.
for joining us.
Yeah. And I mean, there are loads of there's loads of different things you can have to ward off negativity and bring you luck, like horseshoes.
Right.
Horseshoes.
Over the door.
Horseshoe over the door will bring you luck, and those evil eyes.
Oh, I've got a painted one myself. Yeah.
Yeah. All that kind of thing. You know, because you know that has been used in a culture for thousands of years, that has already imprinted in your mind through generations and generations that is a powerful symbol.
Yeah.
The cross, for example.
Yeah.
You know, if you're Christian based, then that's your way.
What about angels?
Whatever.
Oh, come on. You bought me that.
I made that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I made loads of those
It's
one
nice,
year.
isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to make some more of it,
No.
aren't you? Oh.
A tidy house is the product of an empty mind. That's my excuse. Laugh out loud.
I used to think that. I used to think I just couldn't get it together to do the tidying. That's the ADHD and being creative, right? But I always have it that one room, my bedroom, of all the rooms in the house, I have to have a tidy bedroom.
Yeah.
You know, and in my old house, it was just a white cube, white bed linen, white curtains.
I'm actually tidy to the point of ridiculous, aren't I?
Yes.
When you come to mind.
Yes.
But having one room, at least, if you're trying to start off, trying to deal with your negativity every day, start with one room, start with 1 minute.
What about colours then? What would you say? Like wearing a certain colour, or if you
Now
wear
that-
yellow, it cheers you up? Or
Again, colour. The colour theories, everything has a frequency, everything has vibration, and colour also has frequency and vibration.
yeah,
You know, so certain colours can make you feel happier. We all associate red with danger
yeah,
and passion and drive.
yeah.
Black is always a colour for just being quite muted and quite hidden, but also, you know, but it's that what you put with the black that makes the difference.
Yeah.
Green is about a balancing colour. People who wear a lot of green can be so overwhelmed with the middle of the road that they don't actually get much done.
Right. I mean, I get more comments when you put something bright on, 100%, because you're, in a way, because that's another thing, like everybody's worried about themselves and negativity. I feel like the more good you do for other people and the more you help other people and you smile at somebody, you don't know if an old lady walking down the street, you smile at that person, that's the only person she's seen all day.
Yeah.
Don't just put your head down, because if you lift her up, you're lifting yourself up, you're lifting everybody up.
Yeah.
If you stroke a little dog on the way, you know, have a little chat with somebody, all of those things, helping somebody when they've got a buggy and they're trying to open a door. Do you know what I mean? All of those things, the universe will bring you back what you put out. If you're just selfish and miserable and worrying about your own negative life, try and uplift somebody else. I'm not talking about the drains that are just going to sit there whinging all day, but try and just do something nice for somebody, just a little thing. Like coming around here making a bacon sandwich and egg sandwich. That makes me feel good, you feel good, everybody feel good.
They were great.
Bacon and egg sandwiches.
Nice ones.
Make a cake.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I do a healing session on a Tuesday with two ladies. Every time I go to her house, she's always baked a cake. And I'm not even that fussed about cake, but every time Pearl's made one, I will eat that cake because she's put love into that cake. And I had a lemon drizzle that was absolutely to die for. And I always think, what a lovely thing. And she lives in a little village, so she makes these cakes, she takes them out to the builders, she goes across the street. She's like, it's like we're all getting to the point where we're all so selfish and living in our own little bubble and moaning about our own lives. Why not do something nice and try and like bring up the...
There certainly isn't the sense of community that there used to be in society.
I mean, you were brought up in Wales, were you? Or when you were a bit young when you left?
Brought up pretty well most of the time in Norfolk. Had 5 years.
Because
in the
my
West Country,
nan was brought up in a little street, ever so poor in Wales. Everybody's door was open. Her nan was called Mam Council because she lived on Council Street, and everybody would just go into each other's houses. And she said on a weekend, she always wanted to live in Spain. One of her uncles was Spanish, and they used to sit and play the guitar and sing. And things like that don't happen anymore. We sit and watch the television.
Road.
Do they?
Yeah,
Well, what do
everybody's
they
in
see?
and out of everybody's house except us. So I'm really not in.
Oh no, she's not interested in that. But you know,
Well,
I feel like
I can remember when I used to have lots of musicians around the house when the kids were younger, and we did lots of singing and I think if you've got children, it's a lot easier to be part of a community because you get the stuff with the school gates and however much we don't like it.
All of that,
and the kids need to go to this club and that club, so you get a sense of emotion. But as you get older and all those things drop away, and I think if you've done a good job, if your kids all leave home and never come back.
yeah. I would say as well, no matter how close somebody is to you, friends or family, if they're really negative, just try and spend at least amount of time as possible with them. And if you've got, you know, make new friends. Like Paula, I haven't met you that long ago, did I?
A couple of years.
Jenny I only met really this year. So you just make new friends and don't it. However, your past as you've met friends and they've treated you badly, or don't let it make you bitter and twisted. Just try something new. If you get the same reaction and you think, oh, this person's going to be just the same as so and so that I fell out with years ago, then stop seeing them and just find another one. But there's lots of lovely people out there, and you don't. I always say to people, if you've got somebody that's always ringing you and moaning and they're draining you, I call people drains and radiators. You've got people that after you've been with them you feel uplifted, and other people after you've been with them you're completely depleted. Try and hang out more with the radiators. And I always say, did they ask you how you were, or did they just talk about themselves on the phone? How many times have they gone, how are you, Paula? Are you all right? Do you want a bacon and egg sandwich? Whatever. Have they actually asked you if you're okay? You know, or have they just gone, oh, I've got this ailment, that ailment, moaning on the phone? Do you know what I mean?
No, I can't actually see the time here.
So Baltazar is saying, I have the total opposite of ADHD. Friends are like money. I don't have either.
Oh,
well, we're your friends. We can be online friends. It's 5 minutes to go, or 4 minutes to go. Come and see us down. The thing is, a lot of the time, if you've had a bad life and you've had bad upbringing or bad people around you, you get to this point where you get so negative, you just want to stay in on your own. Don't. Go out, get an animal. The animals haven't got a bad bone in their body. They're just animals. They're just pure love.
I don't know. You never met my Chihuahua.
Well, Chihuahuas have got a rating of like being the worst dogs you can get because they're quite angry. But then if you were born,
little dog.
if you were born as an Alsatian, you don't need to be so angry, do you? Because you're quite big and you can stick up for yourself. If you're born as a Chihuahua in the dog kingdom, you've got to have a bit of an attitude, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Else is looking.
If you're the tiniest dog and you've got to stick up for yourself, you've got to be a bit feisty. That's like they say about small people, they're feisty.
Yeah.
Because you have to stick up for yourself at a young age.
Yeah.
You're just feisty, I think. Do you think you're feisty, or wouldn't you say you are?
I'm outwardly feisty sometimes. It depends. Yeah, if I'm confident, I'm feisty. But most of the time, I'm such a people pleaser. And I'm so because of the RSD, I'm so I do panic a bit. I'm only any good in my own environment. You take me out of my environment, and I'm useless.
Talking about it sounds to me a bit like imposter syndrome.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but explain to them what it stands
so
for.
RSD, you don't actually have to have ADHD to have RSD, but it's rejection sensitivity dysphoria. So, say for example, you've been brought up and it's you're just too dramatic, you're oversensitive, and can't you just sit still, can't you be normal? And when you've gone through that for your entire life, everything's criticism. So by the time you get to adulthood, and by the time you've masked your way through being an ineffective adult who can't hold a relationship down and can't keep a house tidy, by the time you've got to a certain point where you can, and this is part of shadow work, this is part of finding out what's really what makes you who you are. And so everything, but it isn't just being a bit pissed off, it's actual physical feeling. So if someone cancel something, say for example you're expecting someone to come round and then they don't turn up,
actually get a feeling.
And it's like you're actively waiting all the time for things.
I'm like that. If someone cancels their plans on me at the last minute I get all rejection and
Absolutely, we all get that. But with RSD, it's a physical feeling.
Oh my God, if somebody cancels their plans, I eat crack open a bottle of wine and think, well, hey, I've got another meal.
For those of us with the dysphoria, it is.
Oh,
it
right,
hits
okay.
you. It actually like visceral waves of like of panic and fear and emotion.
I must have that then. I think.
So if
I'm like, oh, what a shame. I've got the night on
So
my
unless
own.
someone actually specifically invites me to something, then I think they're just inviting me just because they had to, not because they actually want me there. So if anyone rings me up and says, can we have a chat? I actually think I've done something wrong.
Yeah, but do you not feel like you could have had counselling and got that out?
Probably, but what's the point in that now?
Well, you might as well. Why not?
60 bloody two. I've got.
Yeah, but I do feel like my friend's just qualified as a lovely counsellor, and I do think sometimes, because a lot of this stuff starts with childhood.
Yeah, it does.
With counselling and hypnosis, you can sometimes get.
You know, when I was brought up, I do not hold any, like, my accountability's mine.
You're the black sheep.
Yeah, obviously, right? But like, I don't blame anyone around me for how I turned out.
No.
You know, because I could have reacted to things in a completely different way, but I didn't. Yeah. But in the time, in the 60s and 70s, when I was being brought up, girl, you know, there was ways that we were supposed to be, and if you didn't fit that box, you were done.
But people like you are branching out, so people like us can be ourselves now. So that's the whole point. When
I don't know. I think people like me have failed us a bit really, but you know, I think I failed us all a bit really.
No, you haven't.
We'll see.
See, that's just your thingy.
Yeah. But it is part of So there you go. Rejection, sensitivity, dysphoria. It isn't just feeling a little bit pissed off, ladies and gentlemen. It is actually like physically, if someone sends you a message where they're not, where you've been expecting, you've been preparing all day, because that person was going to come round and then they don't come round or they don't send you the message. It is like having your soul ripped out. And
mind you, I must admit, I've never had anyone just not turn up on me. I mean, they've told me they're not coming for whatever reason, but I've never had anyone just not turn up.
Both.
I don't
Both
think.
and either. And, you know.
Oh, yes, I did. I was supposed to get to Brighton for a weekend and someone let me down. So I went on my own, sat in a jazz bar, met all these Italians. I still went out. But I had to drag myself out. I thought, no, I'm still going to go. I've booked the hotel. I'm not going to let this stop me go. But then I sat in the hotel watching the TV.
I'd do. If someone cancelled on me and we were going somewhere like that, I'd still go.
And it ended up me going around, and I did have quite a good time. I had to drag myself out of the hotel room. There, I kind of felt
did you put loads of photos on Facebook so that person could see what you still went?
No, I couldn't be bothered.
Oh, right.
Anyway, it's probably time to wrap this up. Please like, follow, share and subscribe to the Cyber Witch Circus.
Thanks for joining us.
Lyra Starseed and Oh My Goth.
25.
We're open in less than a month in the Pleasure Beach Gardens, Great Yarmouth. Can't wait to see you all then. Tarot readings and spiritually trinkets. And all I can say is just be kind to each other.
Yes, be nice.
The most positive spell you can do is just be kind to each other.
And if you're kind, you'll get kindness back, and it'll go in a circle. And
if you follow the Wiccan path, everything you put out, you get 3 times back. So put out the kindness.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. Can we have that next week?
Oh, that's what I used to thought. Yeah, Wicca.
Thanks a lot. See you on Friday.
See you later, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, let me just. I will.